Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a service slash repair on this 2035. This is something I wanted to start doing a while ago when I picked up a Marks 999 until it started to fall apart in my hand, and I just went ahead and repaired it off camera, and I really haven't had the time to do one since, but I got off work early and this showed up today, so we'll go ahead and start taking it apart. Now it's been a while since I took one of these apart, and I've only really took my 675 and my 2025 apart. And it's the last time I posted a video on that's the last time I took one apart, so I might be bumbling along a little bit here. But I bought this one as a non-runner. You can see it's actually in pretty good shape, but you can see it's got some corrosion down here. And I'm going to go ahead and assume this is mostly just going to be a service, since pretty much all these post-war locomotives I've purchased so far haven't seen a drop of oil since 1972. And you can hear it scream for mercy as I rotate the wheels. So that's probably why it's non-runner. I also saw in the photographs that the E-unit, the guy had the levers in the middle there, so it's possible when the guy tested it he could have just had it locked out in neutral. But giving it a quick once over, I can see that the little trailing arm here is bent, and the little eccentric rods on both sides are loose, but they don't appear to be completely stripped. These are keyed into the drivers, and on either my 675 or my 2025, these were ran loose and have wore themselves down to a little nub. And on my 736, they were basically machine smooth from running loose, and whoever had that locomotive tried to put a washer in between there to hold it in place. But yeah, giving it especially you can see the pickups are really tarnished. You can even see some little specks there where I'm guessing it was arcing as I was trying to pick up power through these very tarnished pickups. Other than that, the locomotive itself seems to be in really good shape. I don't know if you can see, but the brushes themselves look to be almost new. And except for a couple of drops of green paint, I really can't see nothing else wrong with this thing. So I'm hoping a good service will clean this thing right up. I'll probably take this apart farther than you normally need to do during a service, but I also need to try to clean some of these rods and stuff up. So I'm going to start by taking off the trailing truck, because I'm going to get it out of the way, and it's also bent, of course. That's not where I can lose it. And that thing is really bent. There it goes. So we'll go ahead and just straighten that up real quick. That's probably fine. Go ahead and put that back over here as a sub-assembly. And next I will do front truck. You know what I probably should have done is tested this thing first. That seems to be what all the other YouTubers do, right? So what I'll do is I'll pause this before we get too much farther along, and we'll go actually run this real quick. Now, believe it or not, I did actually try to plan this out a little bit, but every time I hit the record button, I forget everything I planned. But we'll go ahead and hit the go button and see what it does. Well, that doesn't seem good. Why, she seems completely dead. The seller claimed the thing at least buzzed. So, well, back to the other room. Well, that didn't go quite to plan. I was expecting it to show some kind of life. This thing seems to be completely dead. Now, as I was saying, I actually practiced trying to do these videos before I start recording and what I'm going to say and what I want to put in them, but the second I hit the record button, it all just goes out the window. So, let's see, the next thing I think I will remove is the eccentrics. At least on this, very loose. This is not bent. I got one that's really bent. Whoopsie. Push rod should slide out if I can get to it. There we go. And that should wiggle jiggle out. Go ahead and put that back in there so I don't lose it. And I'm also going to put these back together so I don't lose them. And grab my screwdrivers before they run away. Go ahead and get this out of the way. And let's see. Go ahead and remove the connecting rods. Oh my. There it goes. That one was a little stuck. Got there. Alright. That's that one side. I will do this one. There we go. Much easier on this side. go ahead and get the steam chest off. Screws. Um, third screw down there. Says it's been a minute since I took one of these apart. There we go. And that should take the smoke unit off. All right. Let's go ahead and get these out over here, out of the way. All right. That should be everything except for the screw on top, and there's a little cross pin that runs across that holds the front of the motor in. I don't remember if you have to remove that or if you can just unscrew it and the whole thing will hinge out. Actually, yeah, it goes through the motor. You have to remove it. Go ahead and get that out. Loose. Go ahead and get that out. And we'll also take the boiler front off, which is just held on by spring clip. And the light bulb is loose. Alright, and if I'm correct, this should just pop right out. Yep, there we go. Side, and see, look for anything obvious why this thing wouldn't be showing any signs of life. I don't see any shorts or anything, or any stripped wires that would create a short. Nothing dangling. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next little bit and remove, you call this a brush plate. Let's get a look at the commutator and whatnot. I don't see any obvious signs of why this wouldn't be working. unless the wire to the pickup is bad. Come undone. That would be that one. That seems to be fine. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on. Alright. Well, it's not amazing, but I've seen worse. So now I know I grabbed a paper towel before I started this. Head. IPA. Give this a quick scrub and we'll see what it looks like. Very filthy, but they all are. Give it a little bit more of a scrub. Hold on. Not the paper towel I thought I grabbed, but paper towel nonetheless. Let's go ahead and hit that with a fiberglass pencil. Get these off of Amazon. I found them really useful. I used to use a Dremel with the brass brush thing fitting when I was younger, but those can not only do they shred and go everywhere, but probably not the best thing for a commutator as it is. Look at that. Shines right up. Oops. You can tell I'm not used to working on camera. All right. Now we want to clean these little slots in between the plates, and you can use ideally you want to use something softer than the commutator itself. A lot of people use Q-tips, but I've kind of got some low dexterity, so I find that a little bit difficult. So I actually went and got a skewer. I find it way easier to hold. I bought a packet of these like 20 years ago for doing this kind of stuff and working on models, and I still got quite a bit left. So they do last you, and then when you start to wear them down, you can just take a X-Acto blade and clean up the edge. But if you have some low dexterities, are really nice for that. Look how filthy it is. See all that coming out of there. Yep. That's probably as good as it's going to get. I'm not trying to make it perfect. Just trying to get to work again. So, look how corroded those are. Grab another Q-tip. Be mindful of that little bit of spring in there. You should just be able to scrub these out. Oh yeah, look at that. All that from this, which actually looked pretty clean from a distance. Ooh man, it's really grody. I think that 2018 takes the cake for the dirtiest one I've seen yet. No. This appears to be a fiber board, so I don't know how smart it is to soak it with IPA, but I'm gonna. And again, so now that the brushes, see they're pretty dirty on one end. Just a little more IPA on the rag. Just work them around for a moment. Break that up. Now I'm going to take the fiberglass pencil. I want to go over this a bit. And go stuck on. There we go. A little bit more on the bottom. All right. Now, let's have a look over this. Man, it's picked up some little metal shavings here and there. Alright, again, I don't see anything to indicate why this wasn't working except for the very dirty pickups. So, go ahead and put the commutator back on, or plate back on, brush plate, before I go much farther. There seems to be two ways of doing this. One, you can fish the springs up through can fish the springs up around these plates and have them pop out. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, there we go. And you could also just place the I've had okay luck just placing the brushes in here and then just carefully place it, but it's also very frustrating, especially when they're that long. Some of these you can't really easily work that out, spring out like that. That's actually a big time saver when you can. But some of these are so old that I really don't feel comfortable bending them around that much. It's probably the way you're supposed to do it. But I usually just turn them over and gingerly place the plate back on with the brushes in place. All right. With the marks, they're a lot easier. So, place the brush in. There's one. And two. And before I apply any oil to this thing, I'm going to go ahead and clean these wheels and these pickups. And for that, I'm going to use this track cleaning pad. Again, I don't have a Dremel handy. And I'll probably break out this wire brush. But I'm going to start just by going over the wheels. Go full wire brush for this one. Clean it nice. Good enough for who it's for. At least to test it. If I need to, I can always go back and get some more. Yep, that'll do for now. Now I'm going to attempt to clean these pickups. The motor may not be the worst I've ever seen, but the pickups definitely are. Well, my old, my first Trainmaster, the pickup rollers were almost worn in two. It would try to pole vault itself every time it went over no 22 switch. So I guess technically those are were the worst I've ever seen, but these are pretty grody on their own right. Notice it's kind of been out a little bit. Well, I'm not going to mess with that unless I need to. It's really clean. Alright. Get some of this stuff out of my way. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of oil to it. This is not gun oil. It used to be gun oil, obviously. But after I used it up, I saved the bottle. And this is a light gear oil. I'm not going to tell you which one because this is the internet, and eventually somebody will come along and call me an idiot for not using their preferred brand, but it's not gun oil. I did use gun oil when I first got back into trains, and it does work in a pinch. However, I found that it very quickly goes hard, starts to dry out, becomes sticky, and then a month later you're worse than where you started, so don't even bother. But I'll give that just a little bit there. A little bit there. Lionel's nice to put, give you easy access to all the oiling points. I'll go ahead and put a little bit outside. A little bit on the gears. Actually, way too much farther there. I'm going to try to clean those up a little bit. Especially that one. It's got some nastiness stuck up in there. And it might be old dried up grease. That's exactly what that is. Yep. A little touch of oil there and there. And now what I'm going to do is take some grease, in this case white lithium grease, dab a little bit on the gears. I'll let that work its way in. Remove some of the excess. and that should be more than enough. Yeah. So before I go any farther, I'm going to take this in the other room and put it on the track and see if it moves. And if it doesn't, there's something probably most likely going on in here. And I am not looking forward to figuring out what that is. But let's go see if this thing works. Alright, let's see where we're at with this thing. Oh, it's making noise. And immediately. I don't like that. Well, at least it's making noise now. Ooh, sparks. Yep, something's grounding out. Alright, that sucks. I guess I gotta do some exploratory surgery. Alright, this is new for me. Clearly there's a dead short in this thing somewhere. And I have very little experience with messing with the E-units in these. So I'm assuming this screw right here will... Oh my goodness. Take it out. So we're going to be looking for stripped wires and bare metal touching, stuff like that. Get out of the way. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh. Yes, that would definitely cause that problem. Alright then, does it simply pop out? Can it go right back in? Is it fucking stripped, or is it broke or stripped or something? I think the nub broke off of it. Yep. Yes, the little nubs definitely broke off. Hmm. Well, that sucks. Well, I guess this is part one to this video. I will slam this thing back together and see what I can do from there. Alright, fast forward about a week and I did get another E-unit. As you can see though, it is not in the best shape. So what I've done is I did the fiddly bit of liberating the barrel out of this thing. And took the time to clean it and fitted it into the original E-unit. As you can see it. Oh. Crap. Well, As you can see, yeah, it does work. At least on the bench. I haven't actually tested it with power. And I also took the time to clean it because it was a mess, and you can see the original one where it broke. So that's a thing. So I'm going to quickly turn this back off, and I'm going to go solder this off camera because I don't have an extension cord to reach over here, and I doubt I can solder on camera anyway. And yeah, I'm gonna throw that together real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, take two. I've reinstalled the E-unit. I have not resoldered the light and smoke unit yet because I want to test this first without things dangling off of it, obviously. I did notice there was some wires rubbing, and hopefully they don't interfere, or hopefully they haven't rubbed their way through. So let's see if this darn thing works now. Oh crap! Well, there seems to be issues with it running in, what would that be, reverse? That's better. That's better. Alright, let's go solder the smoke unit and light back on. Alright, now that's all taken care of, let's attempt to put this thing back together. See if I can remember where everything goes. Actually, I'm going to first scrape this gunk out of the chimney. That's good enough. Good enough. Just neutral. Hold on, I cannot see what I'm doing. Oh, I think that's in there. Where in the world did I put the... I'll leave that a little loose until I get the cross pin through. Whoops. I really need to move this out of my face. Alright. There. Now, the screwdriver at, it's probably right in front of me, it is. Now the steam chest. No. Yeah. We're going to want to fish this up through here first. Actually, no, we would not. What we want to do is probably screw the smoke unit back on. I'm going to move this out of my face real quick. There. That was very convenient. Come on. There it goes. There. Holy crap. I didn't damage this thing at all, did I? I'm kind of worried that that wire may have come undone. I guess we'll find out if it smokes or not. So, darn it. Alright, how am I going to do this? You wouldn't want to... Hold up, I'm being an idiot. Like I said, it's been a while since I worked on one of these. Probably want to... Yes. There. That first. Get the wire out of the way. All right. Let's see. I want to go that way, isn't it? Man, I hope so. I really need to get a mat from this desk when I do this. Ah. There. Oh man. So that bit's done. Now then, which side belongs to which? I think this is this for this side. Go when you're home. Get worried for a second that was stripped. These bolts have a little shoulder on them. So when you tighten these down, make sure you don't pinch the connecting rods by accident. Next, to figure out where this screwdriver's at, which is right beside me. And do my best to fish this little fella up in there. There it goes. Probably. And let's bolt up a little bit. Success. See, even the little smoke plunger is working. One of my big mistakes when I did the first ones is I kept getting, for some reason, I thought this went over top for some reason, and then the plunger here was on top, and I couldn't get it to work initially, because obviously that was wrong. All right. Clean this one up before I put it on the locomotive. All right. I guess it would help if I remove the screw, wouldn't it? Come on, Butterfingers. Oh, my back hurt. Let's see here. All right. Oh. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the pilot truck, I guess. And the trailing truck. Where did the oil? Dang, reaching that. Now then, light bulb. Boiler front. And done. Let's go test it. Well, there you have it. It is trying to smoke, just not very well. It seems like it's mostly just blowing the smoke fluid out of the chimney. So I probably did ruin that wire, flopping the smoke unit around. Something I'll have to look into fixing later, but for now I'm kind of done with this thing. With the cost of the E unit, I didn't get a very good deal on this. If it wasn't for the cost of the unit and paying myself for labor, I would have got this a pretty good deal on this, but all things considering. But it is a running locomotive back from the dead. I really wish I didn't have to mess with the E-unit, but it's one of those. Well, there you go.